An action-packed final 8 hours of track activity saw 1 car in the barrier, 3 stopped on track, and 5 red flags. Fireman Seb made his return, and we got our first taste of wet weather running. Fernando Alonso's final morning started off with a flurry of quick laps, and he was sitting pretty at the top of the timesheets when he was asked to stop his Alpine at turn 13. A hydraulic problem and a sealing issue led to a fire at the rear of the car, engulfing the 2-time world champion in thick smoke. Marshals were quickly on the scene, but the damage caused was severe enough to bring Alpine's day to an end, with just 12 laps completed. It was AlphaTauri facing the first repair bill of 2022, Pierre Gasly losing control of his new AT03 in the middle sector, crunching into the barriers and destroying his front wing. He quickly hopped out and headed back to the garage, where the team pushed hard to get the car back in action. China's first F1 driver claimed 2 of the day's 5 red flags. Running hot into turn 10, Zhou Guanyu lost the rear of his Alfa Romeo C42, spinning off and beaching himself in the gravel. A trip on the back of a low loader and some efficient repair work had the rookie back on track, but his luck quickly ran out as he ground to a halt on the main straight.
In the morning, we managed to do a decent amount of running compared to the first day, so that was something positive. And of course, from my side, there's a lot of stuff learned.
The last sight of the new Aston Martin in Barcelona came with a small fire. Sebastian Vettel quickly jumped clear and was soon on hand with a fire extinguisher to help get the situation under control. During the lunch break, the circuit was artificially wettened by tankers spraying water onto the track to replicate full wet conditions and give the teams the chance to explore the tyre characteristics of Pirelli's wet and intermediate compounds.
That was an opportunity that we decided to give to the teams, because I feel that such a big change in tyres and the car, the crossover time is really important to be sure that there is an overlay between 2 products and not a gap, because a gap is dangerous. You don't have any tyre that is suitable for that condition, and we want to avoid that.
Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz had a brief stint on the full wets before the intermediates took over. The constantly changing conditions were a boon for the teams, experiencing a whole range of weather types that they might encounter across the year. Any data gathering is good data gathering in a brand new car, but will it come back to bite those that have failed to run? As the clock ticked down on the first 3 days of 2022 track action, drivers were really starting to push their machines in anger. The sweeping rule changes and new look cars were brought in to make racing wheel-to-wheel easier, and a plethora of drivers tested out the theory, closely following their rivals to get a feel for how dirty air would affect their handling.
I'll say from 3 seconds to 1 second behind the car in front, you actually can follow closer. Then from 1 second to 5/10, I'll say it's similar to the feeling I had last year. And then from 5/10 to extremely close, then this is much better than last year.
Mercedes protege George Russell said earlier in the week that he believed his team had some catching up to do, and he was certainly piling in the laps, putting the W13 through its paces. He topped the timesheets before handing the wheel over to his teammate. And it was Lewis Hamilton who set the sectors alight to really set the bar on the final day. The Englishman flying around the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya to clock not only the fastest lap of the day, but the quickest time of the week. A 1 minute 19.138 second lap wiped clean any thoughts that the Silver Arrows were on the back foot, with Mercedes clocking up an eye-watering 160 laps, the highest tally we've seen from any team this week.
Has some obstacles to overcome, but I think I almost got 100 laps in today, so for a half-day running, that's not too bad. The car's a lot different to previous years to drive, as are the tyres, but we're working our way through it.
McLaren built up the miles and had another smooth day, totaling 138 laps and gathering some good data. Ferrari continued to look super strong, logging 136 laps, but still have porpoising issues to solve. The Bulls bounced back from their slight hiccup yesterday when they suffered a gearbox problem, and the team hit 133 laps, and we haven't seen everything from their new package just yet.
Yeah, it was alright. I mean, of course, there were quite a few red flags, so I think everyone we couldn't complete our whole program, but everything was working well. The car felt good, so yeah, I just continued, from what I did on day one, and I think that was the most important objective here for Barcelona.
Another solid programme from Williams with 107 laps between Alex Albon and Nicholas Latifi. The morning issues for Aston Martin, AlphaTauri and Alpine left them lacking mileage, and none were able to run in the afternoon. Spare a thought for Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon, all raring to go but with no running under their belts on day 3. Haas struggled with more reliability gremlins. Nikita Mazepin stuck in the garage with a suspected leak that ruled out any more running. A coolant leak on Wednesday and a fuel pump issue yesterday have hampered the American outfit. A paltry 9 laps, their total for the day. Alfa Romeo struggled once more, and with just 175 laps on the board across the full 3 days running, there's much room for improvement. Let's hope their fortunes change when they reveal their 2022 livery. Bahrain hosts the official pre-season test between March the 10th and 12th, but 2 weeks is an eternity in the fast-paced world of Formula One development, so we could see plenty of cars looking significantly different in Sakhir, depending on the solutions teams come up with. Some big names look quick, and the ultimate pecking order will be far from certain, so make sure you don't miss a minute of it.